All right, everybody, we are about to get into an exclusive customer interview that I got for Palantir at their latest AIPCon that I was at last week. This is going to be with a executive named Neal from DTN, which is an agriculture company. Very interesting company. They really just got onboarded to Palantir a couple of months ago, and they came to AIPCon to explain how they were using the software. I thought this interview was a fun one. We got deep into how they're using Palantir, why they care about the ontology, what does it mean for them to use AI in their business. A lot of the interviews I did, and you're going to see a couple more over the next few days, are interviews with clients that people haven't heard of. For example, I did a Brazilian hotel chain. So this is not like, the BPs or Airbuses of the world, but these are real companies that are small to mid-sized businesses that are starting to leverage Palantir as an entire operating system. This one was really cool because Neal ends up saying that using Palantir is like looking into the Matrix. I thought it was a very interesting way he described it. So that's going to be the interview for today. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let me know your comments below. And then over the next couple days, I've got, I think, 6 more of these interviews. I'm going to leave this one as its own interview, but for the next couple videos, I'm going to put 2 interviews in one video, so there's not like 6 videos. And then also I have employee interviews from Palantir. I had 2 employees that are really, really special employees to me, Kevin Mark and Sasha Spivak. So that one will probably be out tomorrow, and that'll be back-to-back 2 interviews, about 30-minute video. And I think it'll give a better, deeper understanding of why those employees choose to work at Palantir. All right, here's Neal from DTN. Hello, everybody. We are back at Palantir's 5th edition of AIPCon, going backstage to learn deeper about how customers are using AIP. I'm here with Neal from DTN that have just recently started working with Palantir. So, Neal, first of all, who are you? What does DTN do? And then we'll get started with your journey with Palantir.
DTN is an operational intelligence company focused on supply chain and weather effects on supply chain. We've been around for 40 years, and where I am at, I am responsible for product and marketing for DTN.
Seems like you guys have recently started working with Palantir, even though you've been around for the past 40 years. What was the moment where you guys realized, hey, maybe we should go with Palantir and see what they've at least got?
So yeah, we have 3 big business units, one in energy supply chain, one in agriculture supply chain, and another in B2B weather. And from a product perspective, an engineering perspective, we wanted to build a common platform. And so we had a tremendous amount of investment in a homegrown platform to support our SaaS offerings across these three different business units. And we started looking at the amount of money we were spending and the amount of time we were spending building infrastructure rather than building value for our customers. And so that led us to start evaluating third-party platforms that we could OEM and embed into our offers, and that would create a force multiplier on the value that we were creating for our customers. So we could shift our engineering folks from building scaffolding to building use cases for customers. And so that's how we that's what led us to evaluating multiple folks. And like you mentioned, when we started, we're brand new to Palantir. We are just ramping up on it. It remains to be seen if our investment thesis works out, but so far it looks good. And so we're in process of embedding Palantir into that platform I mentioned, and then using that to create new offers to market.
So one thing you mentioned that a lot of other companies talk about is that they think of an abstract idea around managing their data, and they look at certain vendors, but a lot of times those vendors don't fit with the ideals of the organization, or most importantly, what you said, the use cases of the organization. So far in the preliminary stages, what has been that use case that is leading you to have more hope in Palantir?
I'll give you 2 stories across my 2 functions of product and marketing. So from a product perspective, the whole idea of starting with an ontology to build your use cases around is, for me, going back to my engineering days. You build an object model, and then when OR mappers came out, and you could connect your object to a relational database, and not have to worry about persistence anymore. This is like that, just like evolved.
On steroids.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And so on my product management team, I hired a person just recently. They came from industry, meaning they had domain experience. They understood our downstream fuel supply chain problemscape, like what we were trying to accomplish.
Right.
As we were having our stand-up calls with Palantir engineers, our own engineers, and my product team, this gentleman came in and he was starting to model out the ontology for the downstream fuel supply chain. And he started in Miraboard, and I said to him one day, hey, why don't you just do it in Foundry? Let's just start using the tool, get Versant in it. He shifted over to Foundry, modeled it out, and we were on a call, literally the second week he's at our company, and he was holding court, and our head of engineering slacked me and said, hey, did we hire another Palantir guy? And we were like, no, that's our newest guy. He's got the least amount of tenure at the company, but some of our 10-year vets were like, listen to him, not saying, no, that's not the way it works. Just
Well, what was the reason for the divergence between this guy and the 10-year vets?
No, there's no real divergence. This is more a story about how easy it was for someone to grok the idea of an ontology and get productive and building new things. And so he was able to map out the ontology of our existing products and the new products we want to go to.
Right.
And then we're the rest of the folks on the call, from the Palantir folks double checking our work to our engineering folks looking at, all right, well, how are we going to hydrate this and how are we going to persist what we do? It was just something that normally would have taken from a product management to engineering cycle. Write the epics, get somebody to look at an architecture, get someone to break down the epics and the stories, get someone from engineering to make sure the stories are of quality and that we can actually do something, refine the architecture, and then start having conversations of whether it's worthwhile doing or not. That's a multi-week exercise, maybe even multi-month exercise that got shrunk to a week with a new guy. You know, and that's what was amazing. That's something that Palantir's brought to us in our just the way we build products. And then from my other hat on the marketing side and go to market, I see Palantir supercharging the way we can talk about our offers. And what I mean by that is, and I go back to the ontology approach, the ontology allows us to go to our customers and say, hey, here's what we offer. This is the set of blocks that you can leverage. And in our conversations, we can engage with them and create kind of the ontology wall of where we integrate with them and show how it all fits together. And
you can have an ontological conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. And that becomes very concrete, because if you can see that, then you can go to where the value is. And I liken this to, this may date me, but the movie The Matrix. So when
classic.
Yes.
Classic.
When Neo was outside of the Matrix, outside of the virtualization, all you could see on the screen were those green characters dripping down, and you had to interpret what that meant. And then all those characters outside the Matrix knew what they were looking at, but they were experts at that. But as soon as Neo went into the Matrix, you saw the lady in red, you saw the buildings. I want people to be able to see the value in the landscape, the ontology scape that we've created, how they can add on to it, and the great things that we can do together to create valuable outcomes for our customers. And so that is a new way of thinking in a go-to-market. We don't have to market on speeds and feeds and just by saying we're the best. We can show, hey, this is how your data, our data, your business processes, our business processes come together in that ontology. And here's what we can do with it, and that's the conversations that we want to engender with our customers.
What I think from a go-to-market perspective, as like Palantir allows you to hypercharge, the reason I like Palantir, and I think a lot of people like Palantir, is that they don't want to get paid until they actually provide value. Like the whole point of the boot camps is, hey, let's show you why it's valuable and then have a conversation around pricing and things of that nature. And for you, you're saying when you're selling to your clients, if you can show them, hey, we've connected with Palantir, we've built this ontology, here's the value you will get, that is actually more transformative before saying pay us $10 a month or whatever to get started.
100%. And that, being able to take Palantir, embed it into our offers, being able to extend, so Palantir comes with a set of ontology objects. We're going to leverage those as building blocks as applicable. But my team, my counterparts engineering team, we are quickly building up our own collection of ontology objects and different data science models that we're leveraging for our customers. And exactly what you just mentioned, kind of the ability to go in, rapidly prototype a solution live with a customer and say, hey, click a button, let's light it up. Take a look at it. What do you think? Oh, I don't like this. Let's go change that and show them the result of that in a meeting. Can you imagine? I mean, we used to do we still do. We do a cycle where we call it our labs approach, where we sit with our customers, we bring in UI UX folks, and we iterate with them on a Figma prototype,
Right.
where they're able to move things around, and then we ask them, and this was, and I'm pretty proud of that approach because it gets the picture painted of what life might be like in our promised land,
right?
With as much resolution as possible. But now, take out that and then turn everything into live data, live functions, push a button and see what happens. That's even another order of magnitude of more resolution in the promised land of our value. And so that's just amazing in terms of what we're able to do now.
Yeah, and I think a universal rule of business is give more than you take. And so if you can give more to the client before you take anything from them, I think that creates more momentum. AI, big buzzword, LLMs, ChatGPT. What is DTN's AI strategy? Do you have one? And does Palantir play a role there?
So we think of ourselves as an AI company. We, as I mentioned, we're 3 business units. Our third one that I didn't talk a whole lot about yet is our B2B weather business unit. Within weather, we use AI to create a forecast engine. And so we take data from governments around the world. We augment it with our own data, our own observation networks, and we use AI to create forecasts. And we have capabilities of forecasting weather at points on the globe where there may be no radar that we have access to. So we're able to use AI to interpret and extrapolate what the weather may be, on the west side of Mount Fuji. Right. And that's a use case that one of our customers asked us about. It's like, hey, I need to know the weather at this altitude in this area. And so we have a capability called Smart Points inside of our forecast engine that is AI powered, that gives us that capability.
And is AIP playing a role there at all yet?
Well, remember, we just started with Palantir, and so we're looking at, in some cases, moving our AI capabilities onto AIP for the products that we offer. So that's still an ongoing evaluation of how we want to do that. But yes, it will. We want to leverage the platform wherever it's applicable. Now, we have another whole track of where we're using Palantir, which is for our internal operations. Which is
interesting. Okay, I want to hear about this.
So this is, more in line with, I think, typical Palantir customers that are transforming how they operate internally. And so we are in process of working through, hey, what does it mean to have Palantir as a marketing tech stack, as a customer service tech stack? What is our operating ontology for DTN? And then how can we use AIP on top of that to help us find efficiencies? We're doing a lot of this stuff in Excel and Power BI right now across different functions. And then, we just went through a budget process where we're, on Teams calls and everybody's like, hey, give me your spreadsheet. Let me have your spreadsheet. Let's combine this shit. Oh my goodness, we can't, you updated your spreadsheet with didn't cascade to my spreadsheet. And then we're trying to put human intelligence on top of the interpretation of all that. I would rather have, engineering's ontology connected to the product ontology, connected to our go-to-market ontology, and just know that when, hey, we reclassified a product from an invest product to something we're going to maintain, engineering is going to reallocate resources somewhere else, the cost goes down, the P&L changes for the product, and it has go-to-market implications, and I need to know what that looks like for our marketing department. And that, again, from an operational perspective, is across multiple spreadsheets, multiple conversations, and probably a whole month exercise just to get that working. Right. Our hope and aspiration is we take that down from months to minutes.
Using Palantir, you heard it today, is like looking into the Matrix, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Any future plans you have with Foundry, or at least what you conceptualize could be the future of DTN using Foundry?
It's a lot of what we talked about. It is leveraging Foundry inside of our platform. We talked about it enhancing our products and giving us an acceleration of innovation. When we work with our customers in the manner we talked about, rapidly iterating with them on new ideas, we want to leverage Foundry to connect to their data, basically the ontology we develop on the edge with them. And so, there's a whole concept of edge ontologies that we want to explore at Foundry with our customers. That may be something that, Palantir kicks back to us if we can get them leads for other Palantir customers.
All right. Neal from DTN. Neal, thank you for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Boom. You crushed it. You crushed it.